great day, everybody. Darren Jaime here, and we want to welcome you to the C-Store Insider Podcast, and got a very special guest today. We're talking with Korman, who is the Vice President of eCommerce at NRS, and we're looking for a very informative discussion when it comes to talking about e-commerce. And Ari, good to have you.
Thanks, Darren. It's great to be here.
Yeah. So you got a lot going on, and I want to get right into it. So when we talk about some of the things that you have going on in the area of e-commerce, we've got NRS Cinch home delivery, and that's a new platform. So talk to us about that platform.
That's right. So, I started my business called Cinch about 6 years ago, and we were a grocery delivery platform focused on home delivery. We were very successful at it. We were focused with, two real underlying principles in our business, real mission statement of customer service and being part of the community in which we serve. Fast forward 6 years, and now we were acquired by NRS to really develop their e-commerce offering. And the basis for that is our NRS Cinch platform. When the Jonas family had the idea for NRS, and when Ellie Katz started NRS, they had a mission, they still have this mission today, of empowering local business, providing the tools that a local small business, an independent convenience store, an independent liquor store needed in order to compete with larger chains and many others at the time. So now, again, fast forward 6 years later, and those same stores need our help again. Today, competition in the e-commerce space is huge, going up against well-funded with huge technology, advantages, the likes of Amazon and Walmart and GoPuff, if you heard of them, Joker in Manhattan just shut down, and many others. So, we're here now to bring the C-stores to the next phase of the 21st century, right? Well, Ellie always likes to tell the story when NRS was founded. A lot of the C-stores that he went into were using an old Casio cash register or just a cash box. And they had to bring them into the 21st century back then. And we're here to do that again now today. So the platform itself is a foundational tool in digital commerce. It unifies all of our now almost 19,000 independent merchants across the country to sell on one platform. And it goes beyond just selling. It goes so far as to offer home delivery to those C-store customers. So consumers can go online, shop on the NRS Cinch platform, and get home delivery from the same platform. So
if I'm a store, I guess I got to ask the question, how do I qualify if I'm a store for the Cinch platform?
That's a great question. So as a store, it's very straightforward. We want to make it really as easy as possible for our stores to sell online and to offer home delivery to their customers. So as long as you have an NRS POS, you qualify for the program.
So that's a good thing to know, but give me this, because talking about that advantage, right? You're talking about wanting to be in the 21st century, wanting to be ahead of the game. What gives you guys the competitive advantage here?
Sure. So we understand our merchants better than anyone. There are a lot of other platforms out there. There are other marketplaces out there. They have their own business model, but we come at it from that perspective of supporting our businesses, giving them the tools that they need to compete, and not only to compete and survive, but to thrive.
Big question comes about delivery. Everybody worries about delivery, supply chain delivery issues. Talk to us about how delivery works now.
Sure. So a delivery through the NRS Cinch platform is with some of the biggest partners out there, in the delivery space, including Uber and others. So we're really excited to have them as partners. One, to be a part of this project, obviously, but also to ensure that deliveries get done right. We're working with them because they have the industry knowledge, the years and years of history of making quick deliveries to local consumers. So leveraging them, we're able to work on a white label basis where they're going to make our NRS Cinch deliveries for our convenience stores.
So what if you have a delivery and say the delivery comes after hours? What is the process there for somebody that has to deal with after hours delivery?
So, there should be no such thing as after hour deliveries, right? As long as the store is giving us their hours and those hours are up to date, there won't be they won't be able to someone won't be able to buy from their store after hours. But we do have stores across the country which are open, till very late or maybe even 24 hours. And through our delivery partners, through Uber and others, we're able to fulfill those orders at any hour of the day. So we have full coverage for the consumer. If they need a late night snack at 2 a.m., we're there for them. But if your store is closed, it won't come from your store to ensure that consumers always have the best experience across the board.
So if I'm a customer and I'm a customer saying, listen, I'm looking forward to getting my order, how long does it take for me to get, as a customer, that order to be delivered to me?
Sure. So again, that's why it's great to work with Uber and other delivery partners, because they have, let's call it ASAP delivery or 1 to 2 hour delivery down pat. They have the workforce for it and they have the technology for it. So being able to tap into that network, we're offering, ASAP 1 to 2 hour delivery from the C-stores. Again, we want to make it as easy as possible for our stores, so we don't burden them with extra technology. They don't need 5 flashing iPads with different platforms, this one, that one, the other one, to be confused by. They get an order through their POS. They pick and pack that order, and it's ready to go. Delivery partner comes and picks it up and makes the delivery. So it's a very smooth, easy process. Allows our stores to fulfill that instant need that a lot of people have these days. And we're able to do it with our trusted partners.
So what have you been hearing from your stores? Obviously, we talked, like you said, Ellie wants to take the place and move it to another dimension. Stores are looking to get to that next level. We know the technology being adapted and caught up to the latest wave of technology and really making things more accessible, because I think everybody wants accessibility. The customer wants accessibility. I'm sure the store wants accessibility, and they also want to be able to get things, in a timely fashion. What have you been able to hear from store owners who've taken advantage of the program?
So that's a great point about accessibility. I think the pandemic has shifted a lot of consumer mentality towards that online accessibility, and our stores have heard about it as well. A lot of local businesses had to get online during the pandemic in order to compete. And, our stores have been looking for those ways and have not always been able to find them so far. So they're all really excited about it. Everyone is, very, very jazzed about having this opportunity. And they see it as that ability to compete with, the 7-Eleven down the block or the GoPuff guy who goes zooming by in front of his store. They're all really excited about being a part of it and being a part of one unified platform, which sort of gives each individual store that the power of NRS Cinch as a whole.
I know stores are really, struggling. Some of them are doing well, but a lot of people are struggling just basically to survive. And so they rely on being able to get paid. So when it comes to the area of getting paid, how long does it take for a store to be able to get paid?
Sure. So, when a consumer places an order on the NRS Cinch platform, we handle all the credit card processing and all of that, ourselves. We don't want to burden the stores with that aspect of it. Again, like you said, a lot of them might be struggling. A lot of them want to try and succeed. And every day they're working very hard. They're the chief cook and bottle washer. They're the ones behind the counter. They're doing everything they need to do to run their business. So again, we want to make it as easy as possible for them. So handling the credit card processing ourselves, we pay out our merchants on a weekly basis. So it's a very, very simple, streamlined process for them to get paid out. But what's really exciting is soon we're working on instant payouts. So if they want to select, a daily payout at the end of the day for their online orders, they're more than welcome to do that. And hopefully in the next podcast we do together, we'll have an update on that.
Yeah. Talk to me a little bit about this, though, because if I'm a business owner, I've heard this and listened to the podcast. I feel like I want to get my business involved in this. Talk to me about how do they get into the program? How do they go about signing up and getting connected as fast as possible?
Again, it's super simple for them. So, a lot of our stores work with sales reps, our sales representatives from IDT, from NRS. Easiest way is just to talk to them, and they can sign you up. Otherwise, you should see an email from us to opt into our program. Again, any store can opt into the program, can be a part of it. We definitely want them to opt in and make sure that they can meet, the minimum requirements to fill the orders and to sort of stay on top of those orders that are coming in.
You got a lot of business owners out there, and their job is basically to run a business. But when it comes to technology, a lot of times when we deal with those who are in this business area, they're not as adept in the area of technology, managing, being able to, do this and do that. And sometimes they're, scratching your head. So how does it work for a person in the area of managing? Is it going to be hard for them to have this, the system and the program managed?
That's a great question. Again, with the goal of simplicity, it won't. All the orders for a merchant, for a C-store, are going to come right through their POS. Our merchants are well trained with their POS. We provide a lot of support and training on that front, so that they know how to use their POS. All their orders come right through the POS. They could print out a paper copy of the order, or pick the order in their store right from the POS. And that's all they have to do. Our technology has been built out to handle all the delivery management, all of the order management, all of the credit card processing, like I mentioned. So we're handling all that stuff on our side. Again, the merchants just need to pick those orders from the POS, and they are good to go.
Ari, I know that you work in e-commerce, and you've been in e-commerce for a while. And we've seen the birth and the emergence of e-commerce, particularly, during the pandemic. When we talk about the pandemic, a lot of people were forced to have to order online. A lot of people who were staying indoors and dealing with isolation, e-commerce was the way to go. We know that Amazon, their numbers continued to boom. You had, at Shopify, their numbers continued to boom because e-commerce was the thing of COVID. But when we look at where we're going right now, like we look at the future, how do you determine and how do you see the future of e-commerce playing out? Because that's where you got your boots to the ground.
Absolutely. And that's a very good point. So now, while Amazon does continue to grow and do quite well, and you look at Shopify too, empowering other types of local businesses, we see a real emphasis from the consumer side on getting back to local businesses, not necessarily having to use Amazon anymore, because the tools now exist for those local businesses to compete in the digital space at the right price point as well. So, for our merchants, the NRS Cinch platform is that tool to compete online, or one of the tools to compete online. But we see it really pulling back towards a more local emphasis for people, a more community-oriented type of online shopping experience that didn't exist before the pandemic. When you had to go to Amazon, you had to go to Walmart.com. That's no longer the case. So we see a leveling of the playing field in a lot of different ways. And we also see other unique delivery options coming online, including drone delivery and robot delivery, in order to continue to reduce costs for anybody who has access to that. And we have some exciting initiatives on those fronts as well in the future.
Yeah. Let me talk about your stores for a minute and ask you the question about your stores. We talk about e-commerce delivery. Is this the only way that your stores can be accessible?
No, not at all. So, e-commerce today is a very broad topic. And, I think it even goes beyond just e-commerce to really digital commerce, right? Because today we all operate in some way, we all participate some way in the digital world. So it's not only necessarily about transacting in that digital world, or providing a service in that digital world. Sometimes it's a combination of the two. So we're also working on tools to provide our merchants with the ability to be in the digital space, but drive in-store traffic. Because at the end of the day, they're running a store, and the foundation of that store is foot traffic. So we want to give them the tools to advertise online, to promote themselves online, to drive that in-store traffic through a digital presence. Not only provide a way to transact and a platform to transact on. And in addition to that, we also want to simplify the other half of their supply chain, let's say, or their logistics on the wholesale delivery side into their stores. So there are a lot of digital tools we're working on to give them a real leg up in the supply chain battle for the wholesale delivery. So, those three pieces we really see as our NRS Cinch digital ecosystem. We think that with all those tools, they have the firepower to compete, and being part of that ecosystem, really gives us that multiplier effect, right? It's like Jeff Bezos used to talk about the flywheel effect of Amazon. More stores we have, part of our platform, working with us, the more we can offer the consumer, the more consumers come on board, and the more power we have for our stores.
Well, Ari, we're going to check back with you and see how the program is going. If you're just joining us, we've been talking about the NRS Cinch program, and we want to let you know that you can be a part of that. All you got to do is continue to find out by going to the the C-Store Insider Podcast here, and you'll get more information. I want to thank Ari Korman, who is also our VP of eCommerce at NRS. And Ari, thanks a lot. And hopefully we'll get some stores to really take a look and advance the wave.
Absolutely. We really think this is the future for all our stores. Thank you, Darren. I appreciate it.
All righty. Well, if you want to find out more, don't forget, check us out here. The C-Store Insider Podcast will be coming to you. So listen, I'm Darren Jaime. I'm the host. I want to make sure to let you know we'll be back with more interesting topics, more information for you, for your business, for your customers, so that way you can become more effective right here in the 21st century. That's going to wrap this C-Store Insider Podcast. We'll talk to you later.